A very warm welcome and good morning. This is the Social Show, your one-stop shop for all things CSI, CSR, and shared value. I'm your host, Viwe, and it's exactly 9:30. And for the next 30 minutes, you can prepare to be edutained about all that's happening in this 9 billion rand industry. We have a jam-packed show ahead of us with a special guest. But before we get into that, I have to remind you that you can get a hold of us on a number of different platforms, as Twitter, Facebook, or you could call. Or if you would like, you can go and probably should go onto our news website, which is www.social-tv.co.za. You can not only, if you don't get that, you can also get the podcast afterwards. It's a crazy morning, guys. I'm always up so early. But you can get the latest news and stories on social TV. And you can just see if your initiatives are doing what they need to be doing or not. With that being said, I think let's get straight into the news. Fast-moving consumer goods manufacturer Unilever has unveiled a 50 million biomass boiler at its Maiden Wharf factory in Durban that will reduce CO2 emissions, waste to land refill, at ultimately amount of electricity used in the production at the facility. The event marked World Environment Day and was attended by Deputy Minister of Environmental Affairs Barbara Thompson and KZN for Economic Growth and Tourism and Environment Affairs Sihle Zikala. The boiler is infused with wooden pallets, waste wood and offcuts from local furniture and door manufacturers. Wooden pallets used as part of a business as usual by Unilever are reused and do not form parts of the biomass feed. Unilever said the success of the biomass boiler will not be the end of the environmental efforts at Maiden Wharf. The company is actively looking to reuse and condensate heat, water and waste and flash steam in its factories, as well as new soap making technologies that use less energy in production. Further, the company is examining the feasibility of a new dryer vacuum and solar power. In other news, Stellenbosch University has named a new student residence after Nkosi Johnson, honouring the legacy of the iconic child AIDS activist. Nkosi Johnson House is the latest of 3 new student residences at SU's Medical and Health Sciences campus in Tygerberg. According to SU Rector and VC Professor Wilm de Villiers, an institution's culture is expressed in the names of its buildings. By naming this residence Nkosi Johnson House, they will be taking another step towards visual redress on their campuses, and are acknowledging the important role played by the late Nkosi Johnson as a critical voice in the struggle for social justice against the fight of HIV and AIDS in South Africa. And lastly, now news, Woolworths has used World Environment Day to announce its Vision Zero packaging waste to land refill, committing to phase out non-recyclable plastic packaging for its own brand products by 2022. Key to realizing this vision is the phasing out of unnecessary single-use plastics. This means that the retailer aims to have none of its packaging end up in land refills, which requires 100% recyclable material and a supportive recycling infrastructure. The business is working towards removing all packaging that is currently not recyclable, focusing on removing unnecessary single-use plastics from stores and ensuring ongoing consumer education on the role of packaging in the elimination of food waste. And that concludes our news for today.
Imagine that you have $1.25. In the United States, you can have 5 bags of deep cheese and a pretzel. In London, you can have an instant soup. In India, you can have 2 steamed rice cakes. In Ghana, you can have a small box of chicken and rice. While you're imagining the tasty smell of that chicken and rice, 1.3 billion people around the world only have $1.25 to survive per day. They don't have a choice, but you do.
There is no doubt that quality education can help reduce poverty, foster economic prosperity, improve health and well-being. It can help a person to understand this world better or build a base for the future. It's clear, it's simple, education is important. However, today, there are places around the world where 14 students share just one book. Girls simply drop out because there are no toilets in schools. Today, 58 million children are denied the basic right to education. Those children did not even have a choice, but you do.
Heineken South Africa and its partners have selected 45 entrepreneurs to participate in this year's Orange Corners Entrepreneurship Program. Orange Corners South Africa is a Johannesburg-based business incubator housing startups and providing them with physical workspaces, knowledge and training, mentorship and coaching. An initiative by the Kingdom of the Netherlands in SA. The program is an effort by Dutch origin companies operating in South Africa to assist the local entrepreneurs and students with tools to grow their businesses. And today I will be expanding on this conversation, because when you think of Heineken, right, you don't think doing good, you think doing bad, right? But today we're actually going to be talking about doing good. And in fact, I've got a lovely guest who is one of the startups, one of the entrepreneurs that has been inculcated into this amazing project and this amazing program that's going to uplift and see entrepreneurs in South Africa occupy space and occupy, in fact, Johannesburg spaces. And I'm so excited to announce who it is. She is and has been deemed by Real Magazine as the first female fitness guru trainer in South Africa. And I, for one, I'm excited to be next to her because I'm not fit, first of all. But more than that, I'm very excited to just find out a little bit about what's happening with the program, and also just about her. Thank you so much for being on our show, Pinky Kekana. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Viwe, and greetings to you at home.
Lovely. So let's start off with who you are, because I think that's the grounding thing. Where did you grow up, and how did you envision your life? Did you see this in the cards? Were you fit as a child? Were you athletic? Let's just talk a little bit about you.
I grew up in a rural area in Mafikeng, a place called Wildevrede. And as I was growing up, being the 10th child, which is the last born of my mom and my dad, there's always been a lot of playful moments for us as a family, running around. My father was a farmer, my mom was a domestic worker. So we had a place called Masimong, like being at the field, like it's an open field where fitness, running, playing around has always been a part of our life.
Yeah.
And what happened is with my family also, because we love singing as well. So singing and fitness has always been something that has lived in me, but I did not know what it would benefit me as I'm growing. So moving to stay with my sister in Garankuwa, that's when I start to see more of you can actually become a sports person, but I never thought of being a personal trainer or owning a business through the industry of being in the fitness
space.
Industry. Yeah,
definitely. I don't think any black girl child wakes up and says, I want to have a fitness agency. Yes. In fact, a lot of people would think otherwise, and I think that's why I think the story is so special. So what inspired you to start your business? What was the gap that you noticed?
What inspired me was the fact that growing up being within the sports myself, doing netball, I love being flexible.
Yeah.
I have this energy that I don't know where it comes from. So it just naturally built in me.
Yeah.
And the fact that I love music. So the two combined together to actually make me feel flexible and fit. And when I saw the advert on a newspaper, I was working for Amanda Wickstrom.
Okay.
And which is a hostessing industry.
Yeah.
And that's when I took the initiative to say, oh my God, I saw this newspaper ad and I would like to become a personal trainer, but also the opportunity that they offer within the training itself was you can become your own boss, which is I've always loved being in charge as a young black female trainer.
100%.
So I was like, speaks to me, that directly speaking to me. So I definitely went to Amanda and asked her to pay for my school fees, and she did.
Wow.
She didn't mind that it's a different industry to what I'm working the space
in.
that I was working
100%.
here. So it kind of like it was like God's plan.
All right, then let's get into your business. What it is that you do? You spoke a little about singing and a little bit about music. I suppose it's also involved in your agency. Can you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. Fitness on its own. I do aerobics.
Yes.
I do fitness at large, like your personal training.
Yes.
And all that has kind of like came together. And also when it comes to music, because I also used to sing at school as well, and both because they complement each other very well.
Yeah.
That's what has made my work a lot more easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also the passion for working with people.
Yeah.
That's what made me bring these two concepts
Together.
to make it one.
Definitely. I think music and fitness go together. I mean, whenever I want to run or anything, I'm listening to my favorite
Yes.
song. So tell me about your community and the people that you work with and the people
Yes.
that you train.
Yes.
How have they taken to your business and what successes can you share?
Actually, they're very happy because another thing is you are helping them with what they need. And because there's a huge open gap of need of fitness and wellness, because now we've got, sicknesses, that needs to be healed by wellness.
Yes.
And that's where I fit in,
Yes.
whereby I find within the space that I'm working at, for now I'm still in Alexandra.
Yes.
So the community has been very happy to receive the program because they have benefited a lot from the program, where from one street to another, when I'm doing my events, there is more people showing up. So that tells me that, my work has been well received.
100%. And I think a lot of the time when you think of fitness, it's really unaffordable. It's really
Yes.
hard to afford a
Yes.
really good body. And a lot of
Yes.
people think it's cheaper. You're eating veggies and you...
Yes.
No, it's actually more... So I think you're really bridging a gap there. Let's talk a little bit about the opportunity received through Heineken. I think that's where it also sort of seeps in for now, as to what is it about this specific program that has helped you or made you see your journey as an entrepreneur differently?
With the opportunity that I've received from Orange Corners and Heineken in partnership together, they've always they've helped us, by bringing knowledge and knowledge to us so we can improve our business skills. And also, they've helped us to look at the networking market, and now we look at network differently.
100%.
And obviously to grow our company.
Yeah.
Also to look at how to access the markets, because it's not easy being a small company.
Yeah.
You would want to move around.
100%.
You would not know who to talk to, when to talk to. So with the platform that Orange Corners and Heineken has opened for us, it has open those doors that we should tap in and push as hard as we can.
Yes.
But most importantly is to grow our clientele. And we are
Yes.
grateful to the partnership of Heineken and Orange Corners. Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what are the key constraints? I think, every entrepreneur says to me that they go through the worst. Every day is a struggle because
Yes.
people either aren't coming or people aren't paying on time or
Yes.
and people don't understand it when you're a startup.
Yes.
What are the challenges that you experience that may hinder your success, and what are the things that you need from, I think, corporates in general,
Yes.
to help you and people like you grow? What are the things when you think about it you really need?
The main thing that we need, it's straightforward. It's mentorship.
Okay.
Exactly what Heineken and Orange Corners are offering us. If we receive mentorship, support, or we can collaborate or partner, then our work becomes a lot more easier, because then you feel that if you have a helping hand, you're able to move, you're able to open your eyes more wider, you can
100%.
see and move around and grow within your horizon.
And just network, I think you're very right, and
Yes.
partnerships.
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of corporates doing that. I'm seeing a lot of corporates wanting to partner with, especially with fitness
Yes,
spaces, because they want their employees to be a little bit more,
Fit,
fitter.
yes.
Yeah, so I think that's you're right.
Yes.
Great partnerships.
Yes.
And I get, what's the greatest takeaway since the formation of the business? I mean, like you said, like you got into this space. It was really difficult, I suppose. But you got to make your mark. You're the first Black female personal trainer in South Africa.
Amen.
What has been your greatest takeaway?
My greatest takeaway is that what I've learned from Orange Corners, again, with Heineken, is that action, planning, followed by hard work equals success. And that's what I've taken. I've taken this opportunity with both my hands and my feet, and you can name other areas of my body that have taken the program.
Wow.
Because I've seen, or I've moved around, trying to find things on my own. It's not easy. It is not easy. So it's for us to be given the platform. This is beyond my expectation.
Definitely.
It's beyond my expectation, but the
Understand.
knowledge has definitely grown. The networking has grown. And I'm looking forward to more.
Definitely. And looking forward to more. What is more? What is your vision ultimately? Because I always think one of the most visionary people are entrepreneurs, because they have the idea, the success that they want to reach.
Yes.
What is your goal for your company? What is your goal for fitness in South Africa?
My goal is actually grooming fitness models, grooming personal trainers, grooming fitness instructors,
Yes.
and grooming the industry within our black market, because
100%.
we are still behind, or we need to grow within the horizons of opening doors for businesses, for SMEs. Within the industry of fitness, because
Yes.
we are there, we are training people, but some of us are not even qualified, but I am fairly looking at building more now into our community as a young black youth that is coming forward to obviously run businesses
Yes,
ourselves, and
yes.
also most importantly to make sure that we learn as much as we can,
Yes.
and open doors for jobs,
Yes.
within our industry.
Definitely. And just open up different ideas around career.
Yes.
For people who may not think, that
Yes.
this could be a career.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, Pinky Kekana. This has been amazing for me, because I'm so I always want to know
Yes.
how corporates are actually helping.
Yes.
And the way you're speaking about Heineken and Orange Corners is pretty much testament to that. That is the CEO of Body Boost Groom Fitness Agency, Pinky Kekana. Okay, you have something more to add. Please do.
Viwe, I would love to also invite you next year at our one event, which is called the Street Aerobics.
Yes.
And we would love to have you there. We'll be touring in and around Gauteng. So hopefully Heineken will be coming on board as well. And
Yes.
we'd also love
Hint, hint.
for Orange Corners also to be around, and for you as well.
That's lovely. I'll be there. I'll be there with my fat suit, and which is my body, and we'll work out. When is it again?
We're starting from January, so it's a tour.
It's a tour.
It's a tour.
In Johannesburg.
Within Gauteng only.
Lovely.
Yes.
Beautiful. I hope everybody jumps on board. If you want to know a little bit more about what she does, please find Body Boost Groom Fitness Agency. I'm sure you have a website or somewhere like social media. Where can people get you?
Yes, you can find us on Facebook, Body Boost Groom. Otherwise, then you can also find us on WordPress, which is www.bodyboostgroomsa.wordpress.co.za.
Thank you so much for your time, Pinky.
It's my pleasure.
We're going to go straight to a break, and after this, it is Things to Remember.
My name is Zene. I'm a chemical engineer and I work as a process specialist at Presolid. As a manufacturing company, we are very concerned with ensuring responsible consumption and production. Therefore, we continuously invest in new technology that reduces our environmental impact and increases the energy efficiency of our production. Part of my job is to experiment with and measure the flow of the raw material. It helps us match the material and the product to minimize waste in the production.
My name is Andrew Lowndes. I'm the UK and Ireland Sales Manager for Presolid Care. At Presolid Care, we're very passionate about providing access for people with physical disabilities. And we're very passionate about the Changing Places campaign that provide larger accessible toilet and changing facilities. It's fantastic when we can see the smile on the faces of users. That's our reward, is to see the satisfaction and the enjoyment that people have.
So you all know what that music always leads to, and that's things to remember. What is the one thing that I want you to remember on your day, or think about, or speak about with your colleagues, with your CSI colleagues, with your different corporates, and whatever it is that you guys speak about over tea and coffee? This is that part of the show, things to remember. And today I wanted to exclusively look at the African Development Bank. I know we've heard about them, heard where they are, understood, but do you actually know what they do? Do you actually understand what the African Development Bank does in Africa? Let's listen to this, and then maybe you'll text me and let me know.
In reforming and strengthening the regulatory and legislative frameworks to ensure that they can attract investment in the natural resource sector, but at the same time the environmental and social impact of extraction of minerals, for example, are minimized. We support them in planning and strategizing for negotiations so that they get the right share, the fair share of value from their natural resources.
what are the challenges that you are facing in order to achieve those projects and put them into a reality?
Well, these are the challenges that our governments, our clients face. The first immediate challenge now is the fall in commodity prices, which means that the governments, the natural resource-rich governments, face fiscal shortfalls. They face the need to tighten their budgets, and to some extent their resources and their attention is diverted into fighting the emergency rather than planning for the long term. The other challenge is one of coordinating policy and bringing all stakeholders in countries into a cohesive dialogue. Very often, government, the private sector and the civil society do not cooperate or simply do not talk to each other as much as they could, and this is one of the functions that we are trying to facilitate, to get a national dialogue about how natural resources should be used for national development.
You're back on the social show, and just before that ad break, we were speaking to Pinky Kekana, who is the first black female trainer in South Africa, as Real Magazine has said. I know a few people would come at me for that, but I want to hear what you think about her business and if you know about this Heineken program. But more than that, we just finished off with Pietro Tiogo, who's the CEO of the African Development Bank, and he was speaking a little bit about what they do and how they are planning to increase investments within Africa. I really wonder what you have to say about the African Development Bank and what it is that they've been doing. I know they've been launching a lot of programs around employment, around coding, around communications technology, and I wonder how your access or your understanding of African Development Bank has been and what you think it's about. And if you have any idea, if you think you know, please don't be afraid to let me know on all of our social platforms, which is brandlive.co.za, on Instagram, Twitter or Facebook. Just send me a question or an idea of what you think when the word African Development Bank, comes up to you, and I promise you that I'll get somebody from the African Development Bank to hear your voice and to hear what it is that you think of them. And especially if you are in the space, if you are in the investment space and you are African, do you understand the workings and the inner workings of the African Development Bank? Do you follow them? Are you rigorously updated with their news? Are you rigorously updated by the work that they do, their news, their events, their projects, their operations, their topics, their knowledge centers, their documents? Are you, and do you understand how the African Development Bank is here to serve you? And if you don't, let me know. That concludes our show today. Social Show, your one-stop shop for all things CSI, CSR, and CSP. My name is Viwe, and I am out.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.